Hold on, it's supposed to start. Stand by, Paulie.
Yo, Paulie! Particles.
Can I tell you something, Tony?
Don't pretend like I got a choice. Particles. Yo, Paulie! Here we go.
I just want to say the first opening thing I want to say today, Tony, is even though we're like however deep into the show's history we are now, a year and a half almost, like I just want people to know this, that I just watched the show open. Like I watched the whole thing. I still am laughing at Creative Tony's face on Paul Simon's body with the sweater. It's still, I'm telling you, dude, that has not lost its fastball to me. Like I'm still laughing when I see us as Simon and Garfunkel, dude. And there's just something about your head on Paul Simon's body that to me, it's just a home run. I don't know. So shout out to the Open. That's our art director, Don Peralta. He came up with that image, which we love. It's really kind of become like the default, like go-to image that represents the show. Tony and Paulie as Simon and Garfunkel. Dude, I love it. Tony, you look great as Paul. Paul, Simon, Ryan. It even rhymes, dude. It was meant to be.
But I love it, dude. And I remember when we got that image and I'm like, wow, this is so random. This dude, Dominic Peralta, sent us this very funny image. And now look at where we are today with Dom. It's freaking crazy how life works, dude.
True story, Dom. I don't know if you even know the role of
Paul Simon. What's that?
Well, I was going to say, I don't even know if Tom knows this, but when he sent that into KNBR years ago, I loved it so much. I printed it and I hung it on the wall in Tony's studio. So that image was hanging on the Tony's studio wall, even when we were still working there. That's how far back that thing goes.
Yeah. Did you see what Noemi said? She says, I was browsing at our local record shop and saw the original album cover of Simon Garfunkel. And I was like, something's off.
I know. It's great.
Hey, Paulie, happy Thursday to you. Happy May 14th, 2026. Should we just launch right into numerology? I think we should possibly.
Well, we're going to launch into numerology, but first we got big news. And now if you're just joining us, you haven't seen social media today, our great friend, one of the great Giants of all time, Tim Flannery, will be joining us in about a half an hour. So stick around for the Flan man. He's going to spread some good vibes like he always does. And I'm psyched because I haven't talked to Tim in a while. Like it's been a while since I talked to him. So I'm psyched to bring him on the show. We'll get into knowing Flan, dude, we'll get into all kinds of stuff today.
It's been a while. Can I sing that to him?
Nah, I'd rather you don't. Yeah, I'd rather you don't.
I will definitely not sing that to him. But Paulie, do you think Tim Flannery knows that he is quoted in a remake of a Right Said Fred song? Do you think Tim Flan knows that?
Oh, God. I know I don't. And let's keep it that way. Let's not scare him off. He'll run away. I don't want to scare him. What was it? Crew Kipe and Tim Flan, dude. Tim Flan.
Kipe and Tim Flan. Dude, that's the freaking
in my Right Said Fred voice in the mesh shirt. Yeah, that was kind of a risky maneuver. I just threw it out there. I said, screw it. I'm going Tim Flan.
What were you trying to rhyme Flan with, though? You were trying to
Farhan. I think I was rhyming it with Farhan.
Oh, Farhan. Yeah, Farhan.
Yeah, he's too sexy for, Farhan and then Tim
Kipe and Tim Flan. Yeah, dude. Come on. Hey, we were having a lot of fun. And
we sure did. We had a lot. And again, we didn't ask for permission. We would generally ask for forgiveness. And we just threw that one out there. Yeah.
Also, this might have played a role every now and again.
Herb is a plant. Herb's so good for everything.
Come on. If anybody knows about Herb being so good for everything, it might be Tim Flan. So, Paulie, I'm very excited for Tim Flan at the bottom of the RP.
Me too. And now big developments all over the place. I'm looking through my stack of stuff here. Maybe we should just follow Tony's MO here. Let's follow Tony's game plan. So Tim Flannery at 12:30. We can talk some Giants, obviously going for the series win tonight. But Tony, let's follow you. You want to do, what did you say? Numerology first? Let's do it. Let's do numerology. And I want to do birthdays today too. Before
numerology, birthdays, a little love for Dr. Matt Young, a little love for Tom Stack, and it's a Stack Jack Thursday, and also our main man, Carlos De La Fuente, who flew up to the Bay Area last week, walked into the Sacred Heart Irish locker room before their game against Reardon out at West Sunset Diamond, gave them a pregame speech, and then SH goes out and wins the ball game. So We'll talk about Carlos De La Fuente and Flex Money later on in the show as well, Paulie. So that's the rundown. And then obviously we're going to involve the incredible chat, as we always like to do on the show.
Of course.
Oh.
Okay, so take me to it. Where are we numerology-wise?
Numerology, episode 322. Episode 322. Episode 322, Paulie.
I want to go first. I got to shout out, like, when I was a kid, this guy was my hero to the highest order. And I wanted to play right field because of this guy. I wanted to do everything like this guy. Shout out the Ripper, Tony, Jack Clark, a great San Francisco Giant, late 80s. You know, it's funny, Jack Clark, when the Giants dealt him, he wound up going to St. Louis. Mm-hmm. And he had a nice – dude, when you look at Jack Clark's numbers, dude, by today's standards, he would be making – I don't know. What do you guys think? How much would Jack Clark make on a deal now? He'd probably be making – I'm trying to probably 40 million a year, 50 million a year. Jack Clark would be handsomely paid for his power and his numbers because he could hit. He had power. He had a great arm in right field. So anyway, back to numerology. 22, Jack Clark, Tony. What do you
how he used to dig his back foot into the batter's box, you know?
He did a little dance in the batter's box too. Yeah. He was always like kind of grooving and shaking. Yeah.
Dude, and by the way, the obvious one is one of my favorite Giants of all time until Luis arrived is Will Clark. Will freaking Clark, one of the greatest human beings ever. And back when spring training wasn't a big deal, my dad took me down there when I was, 13, I think. And we went to spring training and Will Clark was taking BP and you could walk up to the batting cage and watch BP. And Will was like, "Hey, what's up, little man? How you doing?" Maybe I was younger than 13 because he called me little man. Anyways, he let me watch his BP and he was giving me tips on hitting back in the day. It was incredible, man. So shout out Will the Thrill forever. Also, Will the Thrill was great with our Take a Cut challenge that day. Remember when he was out there for the best?
He was the best, dude. You know what sucked though so bad, Tony? Yeah. Will Clark was standing about 5 feet behind me when I was in the freaking box, dude. I felt like such a jackass. I'd be like trying to pick up a guitar in front of Eddie Van Halen and be like, "Hey, Eddie, how do you like this?" You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like trying to hit with Will Clark watching me. And he's like, "Come on, Paulie Mac, you just watch the ball now. Watch the ball." I'm like, "Will, stop talking. You're really screwed." I got so nervous holding a baseball bat in front of Will Clark. Tony, I have amazing news. This is going to blow your doors off. Let me get the magic wand ready because this is big. Ready? Watch this, T. I got the wand. Here it comes. You know who else practices and plays numerology? I just found out about this. You're going to love this. So I'm prepping for the show this morning, and I recommend everybody go check this out. There's a really good article on ESPN.com about Steve Kerr and about why he decided to stay in Golden State, because they reveal in this piece that before he agreed to this new 2-year extension, Steve Kerr said he was 95% positive or 95% certain that he was going to step down at the end of the season. So somehow, this is what this article is about. What made him change his mind? Dude, the writer of the piece, I'm going to read to you from this piece, Tony. Nice. I saw this. I went crazy. Okay. So Steve is talking about the hotel he's staying in, and the writer is like making notes. So here he goes. In the Airy Hotel restaurant behind the concierge desk, Kerr gave his name and room number, 516. Here comes Steve Kerr, which means, quote, Johnny Bench and Joe Montana.
Boom.
Dude, he's playing just like we are. 516. Oh, that's Johnny Bench and Joe Montana. Dude, I read that. I'm like, now I love Steve Kerr even more. Tony, it's not just us. Steve Kerr's playing numerology, brother. I think you'd appreciate that. Yeah,
I love it, Paulie, and I'm not surprised. I remember phone numbers. Well, this is pre-cell phone.
So do I.
I remember phone numbers by jersey numbers. That's how we roll, Paulie. That's why
I remember Tony. Well, your family didn't really move around a lot, though, so this would be way easier for you. But how about this? I'll give you my phone number in New Jersey. I still remember it. 334-0484. That was my phone number growing up in Jersey. I remember my number in San Francisco in the 70s. Here it comes. 668-5772 Euclid Avenue. Call it today. See who answers. 668-5772. So I remember all those numbers.
Kevin Gogan, Steve Young, and what were the last four?
It was 668-5772. So we're going Dre Greenlaw into Cleveland Elam. In my mind.
Or Dan Buns in the Fridge Perry. Either one. You're
totally. Okay, good. Both work. Yes.
Also, I got to recognize, and dude, Little J, I saw you on the chat, dude, and I thought of this same dude, Amp freaking Lee, number 22. Yeah, Amp Lee. And we got to mention Dwight Hicks and the Hot Licks. Dwight Hicks, of course. And then, Paulie, do not forget
What?
Tim McKyer wore 22 for your Niners. Tim McKyer. So lots of good 22s, Paulie, in the Bay Area. And then we had Andrew Wiggins, who was 22 for the Dubs.
Tony, I'm taking what he's given, and I'm digging Andrew Wiggins. Go ahead.
Whoa, whoa.
Digging Andrew Wiggins. Whoa. Yeah.
But Paulie, so that was fun numerology. We got to keep the show moving because we got Tim Flan coming up at 12:30.
Okay.
Hey, Paulie, I'm actually very excited for tonight's Giants game because it's Roupp. There it is. Landen Roupp. There it is. Arguably the ace of the staff.
Yeah.
Because 3.09 ERA, he's 5-3. But I like their chances tonight again because if the numbers stack up, they're going up against Emmett Sheehan for the Dodgers, 4.79 ERA. But then I looked deeper into Sheehan's numbers, dude. He likes to let runners on base. He must get out of a lot of jams. Although his ERA is almost 5, so he doesn't get out of a lot of jams. But in 35 innings pitched, he's given up 38 hits and 10 walks. So 48 players get on base in 35 innings, although he does have 43 Ks in 35 innings. So he must have some good two-strike stuff. I'm excited for the matchup, dude, and I think they have a good shot of taking a 4-game series in LA, which is humongous, man.
How crazy is it, Tony, that in my mind, what the Giants have looked their best this year when they're playing the Dodgers, which is kind of a head scratcher. Like they lose to these inferior teams, but they've played extremely well. So by my math, let me see if I got this right. They are now, I think I got the Giants at 4-6, or excuse me, 4-2 out of the 6 games they've played so far with Los Angeles. And I mean, I'll take that 10 times out of 10. I just wonder sometimes why they can't play at that same level when they're playing inferior teams. Tony, go ahead. I'll take your thoughts.
That's a really good question, Paulie. I mean, it's such a mental game that if you're not up for every game, which I'm sure in 162, some games just feel like, oh, here we go. Oh, God, we're in Cincinnati today, or whatever. Like, but nothing against the Reds either because, they've got some good players and they're doing all right. But I just think that the mental preparation plays a role, but also the cyclical nature of baseball and like how Devers is just all of a sudden he is really, really swinging the bat well. And it's like, it's the Devers that we wanted to see from day one is like, we're finally getting a good glimpse of that hitter. And by the way, hey, Willy Adames, can you know the freaking outs, dude? You get paid a crap load of money.
That is kind of a bad look, isn't it? I mean, a guy like,
and I know everybody makes mistakes. I know, I get it. But that is damn near unforgivable, inexcusable. Like that is little league stuff. That's stuff that I deal with little league. You should not be dealing with that in the bigs.
By the way, you know what's crazy about this too? I always think this now. I never played big league ball, obviously, so I don't know what's really going on out there. But I feel like this, Tony. Listen, if I was a big league player and I got confused, you know what I would do? I would turn around and look at the freaking scoreboard. It's right there. It tells you how many outs you got, bro. Before you go trotting around, like just look off and be like, oh, we got 2 outs. Okay, so the inning's not over. Like check the scoreboard. They're all over the place. I don't know. How hard is that?
It's just, and I don't know. I just, that was a big moment in the game for the Giants. Yeah. So Adames, and I guess this is your mulligan. But
by the way, that's the kind of thing back in the day. I bet you Flannery would have freaking thrown a chair across the clubhouse. I don't think Flan would have been cool with guys not knowing.
It goes back to the mental preparation. We talk about it with my little league team about pre-pitch preparation. Every pitch, be thinking about something and what you can do to help the team win.
I like that.
Do not, we call it P3, Paulie, pre-pitch preparations, the 3 Ps. Do not take a pitch off. The time you take a pitch off is the time the ball will find you on defense, or the time where you make a mistake on the bags, or you look at a strike right down the middle is when the time you take a pitch off. Adames took a pitch off, or took a bat off, or took a half of an inning off, or he didn't know the freaking outs. Inexcusable. And I like Adames, dude. I've got nothing against Adames.
I like Adames too.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Like that
was a bad look. I mean, it was a bad look. But I want to go back to what you said about Devers, because I think that we kind of got a crash course in who this guy is this year. This is probably what I think we're in for with this guy. Like he's streaky. Obviously, he's freaking streaky, but he's going to go through stretches where he just can't hit and he goes ice cold. And we saw that for, the beginning of the season. But Tony's right. I mean, it's hard to. I think we're just going to have to roll with it with this guy. Like, it's not going to be consistent all the time, but when it comes and when he gets hot, it's going to pay dividends. It's just, can we tolerate the ups and downs? Because I think that's just who he is, Tony. I think
And Paulie, you said we got to roll with it. I just going to shout out Steve Winwood and roll with it, baby.
Come on. Okay. I'm a little disappointed. I thought you were going to shout out my boy Kevin Cronin and Oreo Speedwagon. Roll with the changes. Keep on rolling. And by the way, don't forget. Tony, sorry. I got to get this out. Don't forget that one of our mutual shows, which by the way, I never finished, but Cobra Kai, when they came back from a season, I never finished it. Yeah. I didn't finish.
What in the hell is going on? You didn't finish Kai?
I never finished Kai. I thought you bowed out too. Did you? I thought you bowed out.
I did. No, man, you got to finish it, dude. Right.
I got to add this to the list now. There's a lot going on my list, dude. I got shows that's a mile long. I thought you jumped ship on that last season.
I did momentarily, and then I felt bad. I'm like, you know what, dude? Johnny Lawrence. I owe it to Johnny Lawrence.
I love him. I love that guy. He's the star. That's the reason I started watching the show. Walking around drinking Olympias, Coors Banquet Brew or whatever what's his brand?
Yeah, dude, the Yellow Jackets, man. He's drinking Yellow Jackets. Finish it, Paulie. Just finish it. The cheese factor is through the roof. Just finish it, man.
Okay, but my original point was going to be when they started that final season, they did like a montage, like a catching up over the years, and the song that was playing over the montage was REO Speedwagon. Roll with the changes. Anyway,
roll with the changes. I was going to say Garth Brooks and the thunder rolls and the lightning strikes. I don't know why that came to my mind.
How about Grateful Dead, Tony? Roll away the dew. Roll away. Yeah. Thank you.
Roll away the dew and roll with the changes and roll with it, baby. So roll with it. And yes, we got to roll with the changes of the season. It's an ebbs and flows in the 162, as our guy Marty Leary says. It's a mosaic. It's a
mosaic, Tony. It's a mosaic. Yeah.
You know what I'm excited to talk to Tim Flan about? I want to ask him about bunting. I want to ask him about small ball. I want to ask him about like what he thinks about exit velocity and launch angle in these days, and lots of good stuff we're going to talk to Tim Flannery about in the at the bottom of the hour. Paulie, I did want to introduce to you a new segment on the show, if you don't mind. Okay. No, actually, stand by. Let me do this.
This is news to me, folks. I don't know where he's going with this, but by the way, nice, Patty. A little Bob Seger. I got you. Big Al, roll the bones. Hell yeah, roll the bones.
Roll the bones. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Roll the bones, by the way. This is just a little private moment for me and Tony. You know who loves roll the bones? Our mutual friend, Max Medina. He's a roll the bones head. He is. He's a roll the bones head. He loves that track. Yeah.
He might be at those forum shows, by the way.
He better be. I'm texting his ass. Let me tell you something about Max. I know his resume. You ready for this? Don't sleep on Paulie Mac knowing my Max Medina history. I know for a fact. Check this out. The first concert Max ever saw in his whole life was Rush at the LA Forum on the Roll the Bones tour. Boom. That's
incredible knowledge. And by the way, for people that are wondering, like, who the hell is Max Medina? He's one of my dear friends, one of Paulie's dear friends I used to work with at KMBR.
I love him. I do. I love Max. I don't get enough of him anymore, but I love and I love his wife, Allie. I love both of them.
Yes. We had Allie on the show. Remember, we had Allie on the show.
We had Allie on the show for the Bob Weir tribute, and I saw Allie when I went to the Who at Shoreline. I bumped into her before the gig. So yeah, they're the best.
And I've done a lot of traveling with Max for Fish, and he's a big Fish fan too. And what's up, Max? Max is a huge Dodger fan. Goes under the guise of nobody's perfect. Okay. So Paulie, real quick, our man Carlos De La Fuente is a super. Okay. So let's greet Carlos De La Fuente the way he should be greeted.
Oh yeah. It's business time.
And we're gonna do the full version. Okay, we're gonna do the full version, Paulie. If the roadcaster will cooperate with me, we will do the full version.
It's business. It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time. Ooh.
All right, there we go. Carlos De La Fuente. What's up, Los D? Says, I love Tony and Paulie, but you will not see the three of us ever do a hump hug like the Giants outfielders did the other night. Shout out Vito and the Sopranos.
Carlos, this is another example of you and me being like psychically connected, brother, because I have a note right here about that very thing. Now, I don't know. I want to do something here. Tony, do me a favor while I set this up. You don't have to do a formal introduction or anything, but go into bookmarks because I have what I call this giant celebratory. Carlos, you know what I'm calling it? The crotch bump, where the outfielders, like, they put arms around each other, and I don't know how else to describe it. They just start bumping crotches. And if you guys haven't heard, Major League Baseball stepped in and said, The Giants have to stop doing that immediately. Like they're banning that, Tony. They're banning the crotch bump.
Oh, so Rob Manfred gives a damn about that, but he doesn't give a damn about. Stop it, Manfred.
I know. I feel the same way.
Things to do with your freaking time than worry about hump hugs in center field. Okay.
Okay. Hump hugs, crotch
And
bump.
dare I say, wow, I'm not going to go there. I'm not gonna
I
go
like
there.
the crotch bump. I
got
like
nothing wrong with it. Did you see the video of Vitello dry humping the dugout bars too? Like, come on, dude. It's not
like
just
the Giants are thriving on like Gatorade and Viagra. Obviously, they must be pumping Viagra. Tony, I want you to show the video though for people that haven't seen it. You don't have to do a whole bookmark setup. It's just a quick thing.
Stand by. And then we got to get to my new segment, Paulie. Stand by. Here we go.
Crotch bumping for everybody. I got no problem with this. I encourage this, and I'm not doing it though. Yeah, go ahead, go.
I mean, it is bizarre.
I'll tell you who loves that right now. By the way, Rags has his hands full today. He's dealing with the I don't want to get too solemn here, but Rags he's at the wake today, so I don't think we're gonna get Rags today. But I'm saying I know Rags would love this. He would love the
dude, why not? They're having fun, dude.
Yeah.
What's wrong with having fun?
Dude, I'll tell you what, look at Jung Hoo's like mildly, he might be slightly frightened when he throws the arms up. Like, enough, you guys, right there. Enough. He's like, guys, this is getting too much.
Hold on. Dude, look at Vader's face, though. Look at Vader's face right here.
Bader would be Rags. Bader would be Rags. And if you look at Gilbert, he's totally committed to the bump, dude. Totally committed. Yeah.
Oh, look at Vader is so concentrated and focused. He's like gnawing on his bottom lip. What?
Show it again. Yeah, let me see.
Like he's like, watch. See?
Yeah. He's doing the white man overbite. Yeah.
And then the big smile. Look at the big
with
smile.
the hands though. Hands up, dude. Don't shoot. Yeah. Don't shoot.
I got nothing wrong with this, but you're right, Los. You probably won't see Paulie. Although you might, Los. You might. I might grab you for a hump hug.
You throw a couple drinks down my throat, I might be bumping too. Anything's possible. But anyway, it's true story. I'm not joking about that. Major League Baseball has issued like an edict. They said you guys have to stop doing that. So if they do it again, they'll be fined. Anyway,
did you see what they did the next night, Paulie?
Refresh my memory.
The next night after they won, they all stood in center field, took their hats off, and bowed.
I like the crotch bump better. I think
it was basically a double guns to Manfred saying, "Oh, you don't like our hump dance? Then here we are. Okay, we're going to exaggerate being perfectly well behaved."
You know what though? You're coming up with something kind of interesting. They should come up with a new one every night. Like go arms around each other, throwing kicks like the Rockettes. Maybe they could do some like David Lee Roth, like spinning kicks. There's all kinds of possibilities now with the Giants.
I like that, dude. I like that. I'm trying to find they do the it doesn't show the oh yeah, here we go. This is the sorry, Paul. Let me show this real quick. This is them the following night, the next night. This is their reaction. Okay.
So they get together, show it to me. Yes.
Get together in center field, and they take their hats off, and they bowed. Okay.
I mean, it's not as entertaining as the crotch bump. I'm sorry. No. Crotch bump is a lot more fun, especially when Jung Hoo throws his arms up. Tony, couple of supers, and then I want to do a spot for Carlos De La Fuente since we're talking about him.
And Paulie, back to Sturgill Simpson and Johnny Blue Skies. Make America blank again. Okay,
we're trying. We're doing our best. We're doing everything we can.
Couple of supers. We've got Red Jet Shell. What's up, Red Jet Shell? She says, "This scares my virgin eyes." LMAO.
Cover your eyes, Red Jet Shell. Yeah, we're showing the Giants. Right.
Phenomenal. And then Corinne says, let them keep doing this and have a fundraiser to let a that's great.
By the way, the ladies might be running out. I want to play. You know what I mean? Though, like all the giant female fans are going to want to pine for that.
Excuse me. I won the Broads of PNP giveaway.
Totally. Patty from Napa goes running out there. Hey, I just won the auction. I'm here for the bump. You know what I mean? Let's go. Get your arms around me. Bump me around. I like where you guys heads are at. All right, Tony, Carlos De La Fuente. You love him. I love him. We were just talking about him. And Carlos. Oh, Carlos, I sent you an email too. If you didn't see that about the Rush thing, so check that out.
Quickly, stand by.
Give us the loose. 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 What loan would you like?
Very good.
Hold on, one last line.
Give us the lows.
Give us the lows.
Okay. Carlos De La Fuente, ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him, you want to be just like him, but you can't. He's with Flex Funding, of course. Carlos handling all kind of private money loans. He is the one-stop shop when it comes to your financial goals, questions, and direction that you want to take. Talk to Carlos about it. First of all, we talk about the trust factor. Oh, Tony, you're making me jealous with the green juice. I need some of that. The trust factor with Carlos. We've talked about trusting Los because you can. Carlos is a San Francisco native. He's old school, man, and I love that about him. He is a stand-up guy. When he says something, you can take him for his word. He's not one of these guys that just like running his mouth with a lot of hot air. Like when he says stuff, like he means it and it's legit. So you can believe in this guy. You can trust this guy. And let's talk about some of the services he offers over at Flex Funding. First of all, he's partnered up with this great lender. They can get you great rates in terms of like one of his specialties, the HELOC loan, home equity lines of credit. And this is really for people that just simply need some cash in their pocket right now. And I get it, dude. Every freaking morning, like clockwork, when you turn on the news or read the news, whatever you do, however you consume your information, there it is again. Oh yeah, the prices are going up in this. Oh, these prices are going up in that. And the gas thing it's real, dude. I don't even want to tell you what I paid to fill my car the other day. It was absurd, but don't expect them to go down before the end of this calendar year, I've been told. So it's challenging. That's the point. I get it. Now, when you work with Carlos also, there's never any kind of shady, underhanded stuff going on. Like you're not going to get the bill from Carlos if you work with him. And all of a sudden you're like, wait, what's this? And what's this? And what's that? No appraisal fees, no escrow fees, no title fees. You're never getting any of those kind of hidden fees that surface when the bill comes. That is not the way Carlos does business. He is a broker, my friends. He is a broker as opposed to a lender. So Carlos, again, he's a one-stop shop with several loan programs he can talk to you about. And Carlos can do reverse mortgages as well for seniors, especially that don't want to pay a mortgage, payment for the rest of their life. That's something Carlos can work with you on. And again, I recommend you guys talk to each other, talk amongst yourselves, as Carlos has worked with a bunch of the PMP familia, and everybody has nothing but great things to say about him. So you've been watching the show. You hear us talk about Carlos. If you feel like you want to step into the batter's box with Carlos, start that dialogue, start the process of doing business together. Talk to him. Talk to him about how he can help you out with some extra cash in your pocket right now this year. 925-250-4894. Of course, you can always email Carlos as well if you prefer. It's carlos@myflexnow.com, Tony. And we love Carlos. We'll continue to love Carlos. And I know you guys do too. So reach out and get on the road to a better financial reality.
Hell yeah, Paulie. We love Los D, Carlos De La Fuente, and Flex Funding. Again, the phone number 925-250-4894. That's 925-250-4894. Or email Los, carlos@myflexnow.com. Paulie, Tim Flannery is in the green room enjoying himself. But before we get to Tim, I just want to remind people too that Los D can not only get you cash out on your mortgage, but if you have a higher rate than the current market offers or want to eliminate mortgage insurance with the refinance, he can also help with that as well. And there's many people in the PMP familia that have worked with Los D, so you can talk to them or just give Los a call and he'll take good care of you, Paulie. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, well, let's not waste any time. If Tim is ready to rock, let's bring him in. So this is we're very happy to welcome Tim Flannery, one of our great friends with the San Francisco Giants, obviously a big league career of his own before that. And what I love about Tim, Tony, is he'll talk about it's not just baseball with Tim. Yep. He is a music lover. He was friends with the guys in the Grateful Dead. We have a lot in common. So for the first time ever on the Polymac Particle Show, let's bring him in. The great Tim Flannery joining us. Where's the Flan? Yeah.
Am I in here?
You are looking good, brother.
You're the first one to ever get me to do this. I usually throw my iPads and phones away. I still got this. I still got the old flip phone,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm Josie Wells of the flip phone. I was last in the holdout.
Nice.
I love it. Bro, you're looking great. Thanks for taking a few minutes with us today. It's always great to see you, man. And that's just so you know, Tim, my co-host, Creative Tony Ryan. He was the creative director at KMBR for like 20 years. So now we're doing our show together. So meet Tony as well. Yeah.
It's good to meet you. And I'm listening to your work and it's fantastic.
Oh, thanks. Well, I appreciate your work at, manning the third base coach corner for as many years as you did, man. So thanks for taking the time to join us. And by the way, where are you joining us from?
Down in Encinitas, California, in Leucadia. I've had a home here since 1987. Back when I was even younger in the late 60s, my older brother would bring me down here to surf this wave down here. And I was only in 8th grade, and he only would bring me down here if I sit in the back of the car and didn't talk the whole way there and all the way back.
Right, totally. I know, Dave, there's a pecking order, man, like with anything. Tim, I want to talk a lot about what you're up to musically today, and we're going to do that because I know you have gigs coming up and everything. But Tony mentioned your time with the Giants as a third base coach. I wanted to ask you, I was just reading this article this morning about Steve Kerr, and he was saying in this piece that he was 95% certain he was going to retire at the end of last season. Turns out he had a change of heart. He's extended his deal by 2 years, so he's going to get 2 more years. And my question is, how certain were you, like when you walked away from baseball, did you ever get a pang or reconsider, or did you know deep in your heart, like, this is it, I'm done, I'm out of the game now? Like, how was that for you, that transition?
It was a decision that was well thought out. I spent most of my life, over the years. I did 25 years in the big leagues, and then I did another 5 or 6 in the minor leagues, managing at every level. But when we came up to San Francisco, I will tell you, it was one of the greatest challenges, one of the greatest thrills of my life to be able to come back. Because I remember when Boach called me, he said, "Hey, you got one more ride left in you. They're trying to win up there."
Yeah.
And at that time, a lot of clubs aren't trying to win, and that's what happened down here in San Diego when they cut the budget after we got the ballpark passed in '98, because we had to win to get it voted in.
Yeah.
Then there was lawsuits, and the ballpark never got in until like 2003. And what they did is they cut the budget down to nothing, and we basically had to deal with it and just get pounded every night. And that got unhealthy.
Yeah.
So when Boach went north, after the 3 world championships, I realized, I was at the peak of to make money, and I could have kept going and made money.
Right.
And when you only hit 9 home runs in the 80s, you can't just walk away and retire.
Right.
But I also knew that, I knew that it was getting unhealthy, and the demand of it again, and just the season itself. It just got to a point where I couldn't go anymore, or I was going to have some collateral damage that I didn't want to live with,
Understood, man. Understood. And I'm sure, I would imagine now, Flan, and you can speak to this, but the way that, the 49ers kind of owned San Francisco in the 80s with Walsh and Montana and Jerry Rice and all that. You guys really achieved the same kind of thing, Flan. Like, we all look back now, and it's crazy, man. And I know you know this, but how the time goes flying by, like, it's crazy to me to think that the first World Series was 16 years ago now, but that's it. It's like time goes on and you look back now, and I know I feel this way, Flan, as a fan and as a guy who was lucky enough to be around you guys during that run with KNBR and everything. It's like that was a real golden era of Giant baseball. And when you look back at that, Flan, you must be extremely proud of everything you guys accomplished together.
So proud. But I'm going to tell you, all the years prior prepared me for it.
Yeah.
And I got an emergency phone call the other night from Hector Borg, who I've really not even met.
Okay.
But he called me. I was walking in the airport, headed to Portland to play a gig.
Nice.
And I just said to him, I go, first of all, if you get 9 coaches and you ask who wants to coach third, 8 of them are taking a step back.
Right.
And I said, I did it for 15 years in the big leagues, 20 years with the minor leagues coaching third, because when you manage in the minor leagues, you coach third, and that teaches you why you send people this and that. And I said, Hector, I did it 20 years. Fortunately, you guys up in San Francisco only saw like the last 8 years, and probably just the last 5 years, because it takes that long to learn how to do that position, because so many crazy things will go wild. And you have to be able to. I used to listen to Tom Petty's Rhino Skin every single night before I took the third base box.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
If you listen close enough, you can hear my skin grow tough.
Yeah.
And I pumped Hector up. I go, I've been watching you. You're in position. You're in position to buy yourself a little time. And he goes, but I think I'm rushing myself. I go, that's because of the adrenaline. That's because of the emotion.
Yeah.
You got to slow it all down, because that was something you have to learn, especially when you're going to get into the playoffs and World Series. Where after games, you go up in your locker and you cry and you puke and you go, all right, let's do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, totally. Hey, go ahead, Tony. Yeah.
Tim, I don't even know if there is a rule on this, but I used to love how you would almost end up at the plate with a runner or ahead of the runner and like give yourself maybe a few extra seconds to make a judgment call on whether or not to send somebody.
Yeah.
But can you go as far as you want down the line? I've never wondered that.
All you can do, I have to start with one foot in the box. And the reason I know all of this, because Joe Garagiola Jr. was the president of the league, and he emailed me and said, you're confusing the umpire and the catcher by doing what you're doing. And I said, Joe, at this time, I think I was 60 years old, 50, maybe 58, anyway, 60. And I said, Joe, if a bald-headed 60-year-old man is confusing the umpire and the catcher, I don't think I'm the problem.
Nice.
But you're right. And I remember as a kid, I had a paper route. And I remember I learned real quick, you run faster when you're chased by a dog.
Hell yeah. Or the cops. Yeah.
Hey, Paulie, this is and Tim, I'm just of course a minor stage, but like I coach Little League baseball and high school baseball, and I've coached third base, and I'm like, I cannot imagine what it must be like to coach third base in the bigs, because it is such a split-second decision that you have to make based on multiple factors. And so there's no real way to practice that, right?
You got to get on the buses and go manage in the minor leagues and remember and realize it. And so I told Hector, I go, Hector, you could bring the best third base coach in for any club, but there's a learning curve because you coach tendencies. You coach. Yeah. I knew that Hunter Pence didn't really, when he ran, he was like his hair's on fire and he didn't always know where the ball was. So I said, listen, you've now brought me into the equation, and I don't want to get booed out of the ballpark. So if you can't find the ball, immediately look at me, and maybe I can get us out of this.
Nice.
Angel Pagan, the very first year in spring training, I went right up to him. I said, Angel, some of the best baseball scouts in baseball said you're the worst base runner that they've seen. And he got really mad at me. His veins came out, and I said, but the great thing is we're going to change this thing.
Nice.
You can, and that was the year he had 13 triples, and and we became best pals. But I knew all of these tendencies with everybody. Brandon Crawford, I could go to sleep and he would know how to run the bases. It's just the tendencies of the players. And I remind Hector and all the third base coaches now, you guys didn't have an 8th hitter and a pitcher coming up where you had to make crazy decisions because you didn't want your pitcher, coming up, or they're going to walk the 8th hitter to get to the pitcher. You got to jam the 7th hitter in the home a lot of times if you want to score. But all of that's now you can just hold them up. And I go, and even Hector, I go, that play where you held them up a little soon, and the ball got loose, there was still nobody out. You still got guys making a lot of money to drive those runners in. You can't try to do that for them, but you have to wear it. That's part of it. I used to use the old Todd Snyder thing at third base because all the fans, every night you would get cussed at. Every night they would. And then when especially in New York and Philadelphia, when social media came in and they saw my name on the back, they just Google your name. And then one night in Shea Stadium, I heard, "Hey, Flannery, what are you going to go home after the game and write some monster ballads?" Because they saw that I was a songwriter.
Right.
And then down in Cincinnati, "Hey, Flannery, your wife's sleeping with the Atlanta Braves bullpen." And names, it was just, so I would, instead of, over the years, early when I was, I got beat up once a year if I deserved it or not, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
I would try to get the guys on the field, because if you get them on the field, then it's legally, I can let them have it.
All bets are off.
But what I just started doing, because the fans get irritated if there's some drunk screaming at you.
Yeah.
I would just walk over, just like Todd Snyder did one night. He was out with Jerry Jeff Walker, and this fan was loving on him, but just he finally just yelled out, "I thought I told you to wait in the truck." And once you do that, all the fans start laughing, and then you kind of bring them in, and you even kind of you get the guy that's gone nuts, who's had 6 beers, and I go, "You ain't seeing the same game I'm looking at."
Yeah, totally.
No question. Tim Flannery, so kind to take some time to join us today. I just want to remind people we're going to talk music as well, Tim, but also just everybody go to timflannery.com. He's on tour this year, and 4 dates in the Bay Area in August. Santa Cruz, Half Moon Bay, Santa Cruz, Chico, and Novato. 4 dates. Now, Tim, before we talk music, I got to ask you. You said that the players would make you part of the equation and that you would change the situation. Can I ask you? Is it possible for you to put yourself into the equation and make a change and bring bunting back to baseball, please?
Oh, dude. No, yeah.
It's they don't really even do it anymore, except lately there's some clubs like we just saw last night. I know Milwaukee does it, and it just has to be practiced. And I think our guys were so good because I had them for probably an hour every day from spring training all the way through. But over that time, I developed great relationships with these guys, and I was like their dad that they could tell everything to and tell anything they want. I mean, Lincecum and I became real close. I remember he said, "I can't even go out. I've never seen a concert." I go, "You come with me. We'll tuck your hair up under your hat. I'll sit you over in the corner of the Fillmore. And nobody will bother you. No one will know you're there. And you can, so to be able to have that relationship with them all, I miss that 45, that hour every day. Not only teaching them the bunting skills, but also, to be able to get in their heads and realize they're some of the greatest people I've ever been around. We really, really lucked out, and Brian Sabian did a great job putting these guys together.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, that's Tim, you just hit a huge thing right there. And that is that collection of personalities, man. Like when Murph and I used to come into the clubhouse during those years, it was so alive in there. And there were so many different kinds of dudes. Like you'd have Pat Burrell walking around. Aubrey Huff would be like cracking people with his towel. Barry Zito's like meditating in the corner with Lincecum. I mean, it was a really fun time back then. And I'm glad all 3 of us got to be a part of that. But I want to go into the music thing a little bit, Tim, because it's been a tough run for guys like you and me. And one of the things Flan and I have bonded on is our mutual love for the Grateful Dead. And what I think is really amazing, Tim, is in your case and my case too, is that sports led us to like make these musical connections that probably in my case would never happen. For example, I became friends with Bill Walton over the year, the great late Bill Walton. And through that friendship, I wound up on stage with Bob Weir at Sweetwater one night. I looked over, I couldn't believe it, Tim. I'm like, I'm on stage, I'm playing music with Bob Weir. And then I just kept thinking, don't screw this song up. Don't screw this song up. But it was such a big deal. And having lost Bobby and having lost Phil Lesh, I mean, for you, you had a deep connection with these guys singing those national anthems. And how are you doing just in the mourning process and getting over it? Because I still feel it every day, man.
I still have a couple of his texts still in my phone, and I look at them because, I didn't grow up a Grateful Dead fan. I grew up with the Allman Brothers, and I know they were influenced by them as well. But, Bobby, out of the blue, I got an email during spring training after a couple of my games, and he liked the way I coached third, and he wanted to talk about it. And he said, "Hey, on a day off, you want to come out to my studio and spend the day with me?" And it was the day off was June 6th. And here we are in, March talking about it. So June 6th comes along and my wife and I drive out to Bobby's studio out in Marin on a day off. And I realized in the middle of this last meeting that we had with all the people that he had at the studio around a table, nobody's conversation was even making sense to the next person. They didn't know why I was there.
Right.
And I don't even think Bobby remembers why I was there.
Right.
So that's what I basically said. I just stopped and I said, wait a minute. Let me just let you guys know that you called me and you emailed me to come out on a day off and hang here.
Right.
And I got a pot cookie in my belly and I'm having the time of my life. That's what I told them. And they started belly laughing.
Yeah.
And then they realized they don't, and Bobby says, "Let me slumber on it. I don't know why we're here, but let me slumber on it."
Yeah.
So out of the blue, you know, when a Grateful Dead night, he goes, hey, will you sing the anthem with me and Phil Lesh?
Yeah.
Well, I never wanted to sing the anthem because of the vocal range, right?
It's tricky.
So what I did, plus I didn't think anybody would allow a third base coach doing it in uniform before the game. So I called Sabian.
Yeah.
And he goes, I told him, he goes, well, man up and do it.
Wow.
I said, perfect,
Nice.
you know.
Nice.
So I got some of the greatest right before the game, you know, we went over it a few times. And then I got one of the greatest lessons from Bobby Weir, and it took me a long time to understand what he said.
Oh, good. Okay.
I wanted to go over it again.
Right.
And then he goes, come on, Tim, don't take the sport out of it.
Oh,
And I had no idea what he was talking about until I started playing with him.
Yeah.
Until I started doing my own shows, solo or with the band.
Yeah.
And now, especially, that is what I'm addicted to. Like, how am I going to pull it off?
Yeah.
How are we going to prepare? Now you got to get in the moment like you guys do every day on the radio. You can't be so, you know, pasteurized that it's so perfect. You've got to be able to flow with it.
Yep.
And be an artist. And that was a great thing he said.
oh
And then after that, we ended up, he came out to the Brian Stowe, the second one, and he goes, I want to be a part of this.
Yep.
So when I came to the Bay Area, it still is one of the greatest things that ever happened to me in my life for all levels, especially even the music, because I grew up, everybody in my family plays. My dad's from the mountains of Kentucky. Grandmother played banjo. I have a traditional bluegrass record. But when I came up there, I had to learn about instrumentals and the jam scene, you know.
Sure.
So I had a beautiful fiddler, Turi McLean, who's from the Bay Area, and she goes, "Go ahead and let it breathe a little bit, and let more people play instrumentals."
Nice.
So that first night, Bobby showed up at sound check.
Yeah.
We're doing "Friend of the Devil," and then I threw it over to Jeff Berkeley. He played a solo. Turi McLean then played a solo on the fiddle. Then Bobby Weir played on his Gibson, played a great lead. And then a mandolin player played. And then I went to the third verse, and Bobby stops the song and goes, "Now, Tim." He always said, "Now, Tim, don't you think other people want to play?"
Wow.
I go, "Bobby, I've been told that more than once." And the funny thing was, after all of that, I did 5 years with my other hero who I worshiped growing up, was Jerry Jeff Walker, who came to AT&T and said, "I want to meet the songwriting third base coach." And we ended up playing 5 years together.
Awesome.
And we would be playing on stage in sold out places, and I would let like two people play solos.
Yeah.
And you hear him yell, "Get to the third verse, get to the third verse."
Right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, well,
this is what I got. I don't know if you can see back here. We got that World Series trophy that Boch bought all the coaches the World Series trophy.
Hell yeah.
And the cool thing is these kids next door to me just moved in from the Bay Area and they're Little League. I let them run around with it over their heads, and they wear the rings. They're so stoked.
Nice.
You can see up on the wall, I got Bobby Weir that night he showed up and played. I got Tony Bennett. Yeah. There's a little one underneath there of me and Jimmy Buffett in 1989. Jimmy was a friend, and over the years, he loved baseball, so he would show up to the games.
Wow.
And then we would go out and go to bars with a couple of his band members and me. And when the band in the bar took a break, we would steal their instruments and play like 2-hour sets all over from Chicago to Atlanta.
Nice.
The baseball has just been wonderful because, you know, we're all on the same schedule. So I've run into so many amazing musicians over the years, and they've been so great to teach. And I'm coachable, man. If you're going to hand me some lessons like that, you know.
Totally.
Yeah.
One night, Bobby, him and Jackie Green sold out the Balboa Theater here in San Diego. And you can put my name with Jackie and Bobby and put it in YouTube. You'll see all these.
Yeah.
They sold out this theater, and I came back from Maui on vacation, and I landed, and I said, "Bobby, can I get a ticket?" He goes, yeah, Tim, bring your guitar and amp and be there at sound check.
Nice.
I ended up doing 7 songs with these guys, and I had to learn all of them because I didn't grow up with the Dead, so I had to learn these things. And I heard him one night with Jackie, and he goes, he's got to know this one. And Jackie goes, he's right there. Ask him. I go, Bobby, I grew up an Allman Brother friend. I'm here because you and I are friends. It's not, it's nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I could go on. And like I said, it's so fun to do it because I'm just still learning about him all, you know, and it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's incredible, Tim. This is so good to not just talk baseball with you, but to talk music too, because Paulie and I, you know, are both just lovers of both. But I wanted to ask you. You mentioned Boch, and we want to ask you about Boch as well. But we also love Jake Peavy. I want to know how is Jake Peavy doing, and is he with you guys at all on this tour? I'm hearing things.
Jake Peavy is. In fact, here I'll start you with a story. My last airplane flight, when he knew I was shutting it down, he calls me in the back of the airplane. He gives me this 1943 L00 Gibson.
Nice.
It was owned by a grandpa.
Wow.
And I said, Jake, I know what that costs, and I ain't taking it. And he goes, Bubba. He's from Alabama.
Totally.
Bubba. When I was 19 in San Diego, you gave me my first guitar. You taught me how to write songs. You ruined my life. That's what he told me. Yeah. And then he goes, I still am not taking it. And he goes, well, let me show you my check stub. I go, I don't give a shit how much you're making. Right. What he got me was, this is his hillbilly in him, and I relate that to some of my dad's people. He pulled out a zipper bag. And when you go on the road, you get like $1,200 a road trip to eat. You know, you're living in the cities. It's expensive and all of that. Yeah. Jake Peavy had his things. He had for like 4 years, never spent a penny of his money. He had $32,000 in his bag in cash. So I go, God, I mean, he just is amazing. He's crazy. I mean, when we traded for him, I'm going to say it. I don't care. When we traded for him, I get called in the night before into Boch's office, and I was Boch's whipping boy, and that's part of it. I can handle it. Right. He says, you hear anything about Jake Peavy? We might trade for him. I go, what do you mean? I go, I get a text once in a while. And he goes, well, we hear he's drinking whiskey. He's playing a lot of country music, and we think he's smoking marijuana. Right. I got up out of the chair and I said, Boch, then don't trade for him because I'm not in charge of this guy anymore.
Good call. Yeah. Smart.
I walked out into the coach's office and told him just what had happened. The next day we trade for Jake Peavy, and he's starting for us, right? He's on the mound pitching. Yeah. And we needed that energy that last year in 2014. Big time. And he got on the mound, and about 20 pitches in, you can hear him cussing and screaming, and our whole bench stands up against the fence. And I walked behind the guys. I said, boys, he's got hot shit on his nuts. He's got hot shit on his nuts and 20 milligrams in his belly. And they, because what Roger Clemens taught him that if you have arm issues, you put the hot stuff down there. Okay. And then it starts screaming at you that you don't feel the other pain. Right. And now we get on an airplane after the game. He shut him out. We won. We're flying to New York or wherever. And because I told Boch, I'm not in charge of this guy. So don't, half hour into the flight, the flight attendant and the traveling secretary come up to me and say, hey, you're a musician. Go out. You're take care of Peavy back there. He's doing some crazy stuff back there with guys. Okay. And I go, I'm not in charge of him. And they said, go do. So I walked back there and I looked at all of them and just shook my head. And he had a vaporizer as big as a toaster. And I go, can you, instead of yelling at him, can you guys get smaller vaporizers? I turned around and walked back up to the room, Right. It was a bunch of outlaws that last year, and I absolutely love them.
But that's what was so beautiful about it, though, Flan. That's what I was saying earlier, man. It was that collection of personalities, all kinds of different guys. And Peavy, dude, I remember going into the clubhouse when Peavy would pitch, like in a day game. The only time I've ever experienced this, Flan, in my entire life, walking into the Giant clubhouse, and I'm hearing Fire on the Mountain, One More Saturday Night, Friend of the. He's got this stuff cranked up. I mean, there's guys sitting in that clubhouse that have never heard of the Grateful Dead. But Tony, when the starting pitcher goes, they get to select the music they want to hear.
Yeah.
I used to trip out on that. And Flan, just the last thing on PV, and then I want to talk about your gigs, is I will never forget, just speaks to his like crazy mindset. When Ishikawa hit the home run to go to the World Series, PV goes running out, almost tackled him between second and third. And Ishikawa was like, dude, I gotta touch the bases here. Get out of my way. PV was like, come on now, come on. Go crazy out there.
He's legally blind, I think. He wears these things when he doesn't have his contacts in. I call them prescription ashtrays. They're like this thick and you can't see nothing. He ran right by me, and at third, I'm going, "Where's he going?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, freaking best.
Tim, is Jake? Yeah, is he playing with you on the tour?
He's opening every show. And I will bring him back also because I had him here the other day. He does a little work for the Padres, just shaking hands and makes a couple extra bucks.
Yeah.
So I was down there with him and I said, I want you at my house tomorrow night. You got to rehearse. Your name is on the ticket.
Yeah.
You have to show up, you know, and no, he's all in. So, and he's really gotten good over the years. He's really taken it to another level, and he's got that boyhood charm when he plays in that Alabama drawl, but he can rock, and he's prepared, and he absolutely loves it. Like all musicians that still do it.
And what are the shows going to be like, Flan? Are you doing like 2 sets a night, that kind of format?
Yeah, I'm going to probably come out, and him and I'll do a couple together. And then he has a few great musicians that over the years I've used in the Lunatic Fringe that I'm sure he'll use. And then me and my band will be, second half, and off we go, and we'll bring him back for a couple dead songs and stuff,
Heck yeah. Paulie, also the dates of the shows are the 27th through the 30th of August in the Bay Area, throughout the Bay Area. And it's Chico, Half Moon Bay, Santa Cruz, and Novato. Those are all the shows. I think the first show is in Santa Cruz, Half Moon Bay.
Yeah.
And then Santa Cruz, and then Chico, and then Novato, I think.
Yeah.
Play of August.
Play the Kumba Theater. We play OPL.
OPL's great.
On the 27th, the 28th. Kumba Theater in Santa Cruz. And then we play Chico up at the Chico's Women's Club. Nice. Where it's a great venue. And then the next day at Hot Monk, Novato, I think it's our 12th year doing it.
Nice. Tim, I've seen shows at OPL. I saw the Mother Hips there. Do you ever cross paths with Tim Bloom?
We played. I played at the High Sierra Music Festival. I hung out with them and Nikki Bloom, and then I played a show at the Mystic at Petaluma, and he came backstage and he hung out with us. Yeah, he's a good man.
He's a really cool dude. And just a couple of final minutes here, Tim, before we let you go. Okay, so when you do you guys do covers at all, or is it all original material in your sets now?
We do a handful of covers that mean a lot to me, and a lot of times people don't even know. I cover songs that I always think I wish I'd have wrote that. Or to honor somebody. But I've been going back and looking at all my records. I got 14 records. Especially, I've been doing a lot of solo shows, which I really like too.
Nice.
And I'm picking out older songs and bringing them back, and maybe ones I would not do. I haven't done in a while, but we got new music too, But we'll be ready to do it all. I live for that trip up there every year. I miss being up there so much, and the thing I tell people that was the greatest blessing of my life, to come up there to play in a historic baseball team that I felt like all the 20 years prior brought me to this point to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But everybody up there understood you can be an artist and still coach third. Where down here it was like in San Diego, like, what's he doing that for? But you can play cards, you can drink all night, you can golf and chase women. That means you love the game. But if you're in your room playing music, he doesn't love the game.
There's something suspect about this guy with that guitar. I don't trust him. Yeah. So
crazy.
two last things for you, Tim. Two last things, then we'll let you go. We have so I know you can't see this, but we have our audience now is in this comment section. They're all going crazy. They love you. Want to show a couple of supers, Tony. But before we go there, I got to show Tim. So Tim, I have my own band now too. So we're playing around the Bay now. We started gigging a few months ago. It's simple. We're just calling it Paulie Mac and Friends. But
Nice.
I'm just saying down the road, not now because you got Jake. If
I'd
you
love to be a part of it.
Well, if you ever need like an opening band, I'm always available. Tony, show him a clip. Show Flan a clip.
I'll come and open for you solo.
Yeah, dude, I'll take that any day. Here, I want to show you a clip from our last practice, our last rehearsal last weekend. So, Tim, we do 2 sets. We do 1 set of classic rock favorites, and then our second set is Grateful Dead. So here's just a snippet of 2 Dead songs. This is just from our rehearsal.
Yeah, here we go, Tim. There's stand by. It's going to start in a second.
All right, Pete, that's cool. That's plenty. That's plenty. But there you go, Flan. That's what we're up to.
That's nice, Paulie. We played that show not last year together, and it was great to just watch you and how you killed it. Nice. And then that rehearsal was wherever we were in that house, man. The mushroom house, whoever who you took me to, I loved it. I didn't have the shrooms, but everything was built like we were in a forest.
Dude, you know what's so funny about that, Flan? I don't know where I was either. That's just where the rehearsal was. We were at Tony, we rehearsed at some mansion up in Asbury Heights, and Flan didn't know the house. I don't know the guy who owned the house, and they had this massive studio downstairs. Jackie Green was there on keys and everything. It was so much fun. All right, well, Flan, listen, bro, we appreciate you giving us some time today. It's just always great to see you, and I will definitely be at the Hot Monk gig. I'll see you up there, man.
And I'll be at the OPL gig for sure, Tim. I just one last question for you. How's Boach doing? Are you still in touch with Boach? How's he doing?
He's doing all right. I got a text last night. He sent me some country singer explaining a guitar. I mean, he always sends me little clips of music and stuff.
Nice.
We check in. I couldn't believe he kept going because that manager's job. It got to the point where 162 games is just. And all of spring training, at my point in my life, I was, I'm going, God, I've done this a long time and I'm tired of waking up alone in hotels in different cities, even though I feel comfortable in all of it. I love that travel and stuff, but I like being on an airplane with my boys and it was those guys, the teams that win, the teams that go, the veterans and everybody at that point had played long enough to gain respect and nobody bruised easily, and we had a lot of fun, and we took it very personal.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, show Tim the 2 supers or whatever we got before we let him go, just so we can see some of the feedback from the audience, because people are loving you, Tim. They're psyched to see you, man.
Awesome. Thank you,
we've
folks.
got this. We have Red Jet Shell. She's a big fan. She says, "Can we disagree that Flan is much needed in sports life and Bay Area therapy? If he wants to coach the Giants, just call me a proud endorser." LOL. That's Red Jet Shell. Thank you, Red Jet Shell. And then Don Peralta, our very own Don Peralta, he says, "Thank you, Tim, for all that you do. Baseball, music, life, everything. We are all blessed to have you in our lives."
Thank you so much.
Love Harder. Tim, the Love Harder project. I remember you put your heart and soul into that thing. And I have a t-shirt, Lunatic Fringe and Love Harder on the back.
Yep.
And
Still got some merch.
Hell
Yeah, we did it. We did a lot of good. And, we started off with just trying to help Brian.
Yeah.
So, we raised him probably a couple $100,000 just to keep the lights on and get him into a therapy place that costs like $100,000 for your head, for your brains. I still talk to him. He sees us in Santa Cruz all the time.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of things. Every place we played, we'd leave a check, nice check for refuges for domestic violence, and then at schools, at buddy benches. And unfortunately, bullying is like the flavor of the month now with what's going on. So, and I didn't, like I said, when you got out, I didn't have any money. I don't have the money to lose any money anymore, where we were doing that and it cost us too, but it was worth everything we did. We finally got it shut down, because even to shut it down, you have to pay all these crazy fees just to get out of it,
Right.
Wow.
I finally said to my wife last week, I go, I don't want to hear the word anymore.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, last one. Show me one from Patty, and then we'll say goodbye. Just one more for you, Tim. This
is a dear friend of ours, Patty from Napa, Tim, and she says, "Let Tim know the broads of PMP will see him in Novato. Girls' night out. Thanks for joining us, Tim."
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're going to represent. Then we have one more from Lily Merchant. She says, "Tim Flannery is the grooviest and kindest person on earth, period. End of story."
After Earth, you should have said, but he is a wreck.
Hey, Flan, God bless you, baby. We love you, man. Thank you for giving us some time.
Thank you, guys.
We'll catch up soon, brother.
You've done so much for our whole life up there, Paulie, and you and all of them, Mac, and everybody. Thank you. And thank you so much for letting me be on this. This is first time that I can do this. I can get rid of my flip phone now.
Anything's possible, brother. Anything's possible, Flan. You be well. We'll talk soon, man. Take care.
Okay. Y'all be well. Bye-bye.
Take care, Tim.
Tim Flannery, everybody. Give him a standing ovation. I know you guys are. Tony, write that one down right now. Tim Flannery, 514-26 for our best of series when we come up with those. Because the more, like I've been saying for years, it's one of those things, Tony, the more Tim Flannery, the better for everybody,
I love what he said about being able to be in the Bay Area and coach and play music and being accepted.
San Francisco. That's the San Francisco I fell in love with. Right there, where other cities are like, "How dare you? You can't play a guitar." And then he
says, "Oh, it's okay to be out carousing and drinking and all that, and chasing women, but I'm in my room with my guitar, and ooh, he's trouble."
How about this? How about Peavy on the back of the plane with a vape the size of a toaster? Okay, because he goes, "I probably shouldn't say this." Nah, I'm going to say it. Screw it. Tim, well, you guys see why we love him so much. You guys see. I mean, he's one of the great. And I got to be totally honest with the audience just for a second, you guys, just to let you know what my headspace is. A lot of these guys that I became friendly with over the years, and Tony too. Tony knows a lot of these dudes. Be it a Jake Peavy or a Lincecum or a Tim Flannery. You know what? I think the best thing people like me can do at this point is kind of give these guys space. That's why I don't constantly say hey, I'm trying to get such and such on the phone. They appreciate being left alone. They really do. So a lot of times that's the best favor you can do. But once in a while, I'll call in a favor and I'll try to get some of our old friends on, like Tim Flannery, because that was just so great, Tony. Such a great segment.
Paul, that reminds me of a couple things real quick. Is that reminds me when Tom Brady got drafted and he was a 7th round pick and whatever, and he and I were close, not close, but we were in contact, and I could text him and say, "Come on the show."
Sure.
He would come on, and then it got to the point where he was getting requests from all over the world all the time. So he's like, "You got to go through the media."
He's bringing Tom Brady. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
but Tim Flannery too, Bruce Bochy, all these guys. It's not just KNBR that was asking for interviews. It's the visiting team every series. Whenever they went on the road, they were asked to do interviews, and so they're asked to do interviews all the time. So, like Paulie says, letting them breathe and giving them space is the natural thing to do.
And that's what they appreciate the most. That's what they appreciate the most.
And it goes to the old adage of athletes love to talk about anything but sports, and musicians like to talk about anything but music. It's so
trippy. It's so trippy. Like, I've learned that over the years. I know a lot of you guys know that. Like, athletes want to be rock stars want to be athletes. I've seen that, Tony, hundreds of times. Like, rock stars turn into like little kids, like Bobby. Dude, Bobby was such a big Bay Area sports fan. Bob Weir loved the Giants, loved the Niners. Meanwhile, he's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame legend Bob Weir could care less. He's like, oh, yeah, so what? I'm playing the Garden tomorrow night. I'm more interested in talking to Tim Flannery, you know? So it's funny how there's like that cross thing with those guys. Yeah.
Paulie, and I do got to say, I can vouch for the, and I know you can too. You've jammed with Jake Peavy, but he's such a wonderful human being.
He's the best.
Even before he came to the Giants, I was fortunate enough to go with a friend of a friend when he was on the Red Sox and he was visiting to play the A's. And we went to his hotel room, and I thought it was just going to be him in his hotel room, and we were going to do a quick like hello and leave. We got into, not only was it his hotel room, he booked the corner suite, which was like 3 rooms into 1 room.
That's how those guys roll, dude. They get like joining rooms. It turns into like a big party. Yeah.
He had a full buffet.
Yep.
He had a full tub of beers and wine, and then he had 6 guitars, and he had a jam circle sitting on the floor. We were all sitting on the floor, and Buckethead Mark was with me, and Buckethead Mark used his wedding ring to start making percussion on a lamp. And that was
perfect.
Dude, and then I started patting percussion, and we had a jam. And these guys, Clay Buchholz was a pitcher for the Red Sox. He was there.
I remember Buchholz. I think he won a World Series with the Red Sox.
Yes, Buchholz. And so the Red Sox were having this jam session in this room. I'm like, this is outrageous, and it was all because it was Peavy leading this party, this jam session, this jam circle. And I'm like, this is. I didn't know Peavy. I didn't know this is how he rolled. And then when he came to the Giants, it was like, oh, okay. I am so stoked that this dude is a Giant. And then the fact that you ended up on stage with them, and then it's just phenomenal.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about what Flannery was referencing. So a couple of years ago, and Tony, I wanted you to be at that gig so bad, but I'll never forget this. You went up to Tahoe with your family, and you missed this, but to set up for this gig, it was basically a Jake Peavy gig with a lot of friends sitting in with him, including Jackie Green and yours truly. I was there, but they had a big rehearsal. It was a rehearsal / party, like the night before the gig. So the gig was a Saturday. They had this big rehearsal on a Friday night, and all I got was an address. It said, come to this house on this date from 8 p.m. to 1 in the morning. We're going to be running through all the material and stuff. I go, great. Okay. So I drive up there. Tony, I have no idea where I'm going. I'm driving around Ashbury Heights. Yeah. And if you've never been up there, there's some heavy money up there, man. There are big ass gated houses.
Whoa. Time out. Scarlet Fire is saying she was there.
Wait a minute. No, she's talking about the gig. She's talking.
Okay.
You have to be. If you were at this freaking party rehearsal, that will blow my doors up. But I think she's referring to the gig. Yeah, the gig was great. It was a lot of fun.
Was phenomenal. Yeah, phenomenal. Okay, sorry, Paulie, go ahead.
I usually fall back on this one, Tony, when I want to make sure I don't screw things up. I generally play Dead Flowers by the Rolling Stones, because that one, and that one I can usually pull off without like any car crashes. So I played that with those guys. It was fun. I had Jackie Green on keys. Dude, you know who else was on stage with us singing backups? This was crazy. I looked to my left. I got Jackie Green on keys. And then I looked to my right. It was Jennifer Hartswick.
Jennifer Hartswick, yeah, she's amazing.
Dude, so they were singing backups to my lead vocal on Dead Flowers. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is insane. I got Hartswick, I got Green, and it was crazy. But anyway, so
did you bring her trumpet too? Was she on horns too?
Not that night. That night. She was just singing. So I drive up to this house, Tony, and again, big mansions. It's the area up in the hills above Haight Street, if you've never been up there. And I go walking up to this mansion by myself. I'm like, hello, knock. I'm knocking on the door. All of a sudden the door opens. So this is what was going on. It was a mansion. Only way I can describe it. It was a mansion. I still don't know whose house it was. I was told it was a guy who lives up in Ashbury Heights who is just a lover of the arts, and he loves having musicians hanging around. He's like one of those guys. He's not a musician, but he loves to be around it. So I walk in this house, Tony, there's a raging party going on, raging. And I look around and I'm like, am I in the right place? And I'm like walking around, I'm holding the guitar and they're like, oh yeah, the rehearsal's going on downstairs. So there's a party. I mean, they were drinking tea, they were brewing tea, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Flan referenced that.
Yep.
So then they said, oh, if you're a musician, you got to go downstairs. So I take my guitar, I go downstairs. Tony, it is a fully loaded recording studio space.
Love it. Love it.
It was, and they probably recorded the rehearsal. Jackie, I'll never forget this. Jackie Green was playing piano when I walked down there and he was singing Love and Cup by the Rolling Stones.
Nice.
And I'm like, screw this. I don't care. I'm filming this shit. And I just started filming Jackie because I love Jackie Green.
Give me a little drink.
From your loving cup.
Come on.
And so that was the night that he was referring to. And I still don't know whose house it was. And it was so much fun. And then
it's better that you don't know whose house it was. That adds to the mystique and the mystery of the night.
Didn't know either. Flan didn't know either. He's like, I don't know whose house we. And I was like, I don't either. We were just given that address. I still don't know whose house that was. Yeah.
Paulie, also, this is. Did you see the sadness in Tim's face when I brought up bunting? Did you see?
You know what? This is why I love Creative Tony, because I'm so glad you mentioned that. And just to remind you guys, not that you need this, but when Flan was with the Giants, there was an emphasis on bunting. Flan was known as the bunt doctor. That was his nickname in Scottsdale. Yep. And he would work with guys every day. So yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up, man.
I remember that. I would go out early to the park with the years that I was down there. And it was like the sun had just risen. These were 7 a.m. bunting sessions.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't even know I don't know if I was a movie maker, I would have made a movie about this scene of like the sun rising, these guys out there and they're all bunting and Tim's talking bunting and he's breaking it down. And like you said, he's developing relationships with all these people. And I was like, where is that today? Although he did mention, and he is correct, there is a little more bunting lately. The Giants bunted in a run the other night and other teams are doing it. But I love that he loves that part of the game because it's one of my favorite parts of the game. And so I looked at his face and he just goes, oh, they're just not doing it anymore.
Well, it's too bad because when it's done correctly in the right situation, I know this sounds crazy, but I really feel this way, Tony. I think it can be one of the most exciting plays in baseball with the best example being Barry Zito's bunt in St. Louis game 5 in 2012. He laid down that bunt and just freaking gazelled it down the line and he beat the throw. I mean, that was so exciting. First of all, Barry Zito pitching his balls off in St. Louis. Really,
the chaos, probably the chaos it created. To create that bad throw. That's what I love about the bunt, man. It's nice Humdinger 87 bunts and blunts.
Bunts and blunts. Well, that's your 2012 Giants right there, and your 2014 Giants bunts and blunts. All right, in all disclosure. And your 2010 Giants. Those boys enjoyed the herbal delish. Let's be honest.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's medicine, man. Hold on. Just again, because we played it earlier in the show. And play it again because this is what we believe in.
Herb. Herb is a plant.
I love the way he stresses the word plant.
Okay, so folks, we got to put the wheels back on. We got a Tom Stack thing burning up a hole in my desk here. What are you doing?
I just want to show people, everybody. This is timflannery.com. So he comes to the Bay. He does Half Moon Bay. You can see there August 27th at Old Princeton Landing in Half Moon Bay. Then he's down in Santa Cruz August 28th. Then he is up in Chico August 29th, and then Novato August 30th. So
hey Tony, what's the Santa Cruz gig? What I can't read the venue. Where is that one?
That is at the Cumbo Center in Santa Cruz, which is the Cumbo Jazz Center, which is a great spot. And then I might go on like Flannery mini tour, dude. Like I don't know, Rising Wolf. I see Rising Wolf's on the chat. He has a big not cargo van, but like a traveling van. That's a 15 passenger that he calls Beluga. I might ask Rising Wolf for the two of us to jump in Beluga and go on Flan tour and pick you up along the way, Paulie.
You know what I think is really great about Flan? If you look at the dates, no days off. Gig. No like gig day off, gig day. Flan's like, just line them up. I'm coming. Like, I love that, dude. That's badass. 24, 27, 28, 29, 30. That's gangster. And yes, Scarlet Fire, you are 100% correct. I did a Q&A with the players before the band. You're all over it. And thanks for being there, Scarlet Fire. Okay, also, thank you, Tom Stack, for being a great friend and a great sponsor as we segue now to give
Tom Stack is a big Tim Flan fan.
Tim Flannery's the best. I want to thank him again for joining us today. If you missed it, just replay it. We're going to be putting together some best of shows, and we'll definitely include that too. We've had some good guests this year, and that was definitely one of the best so far. But Tom Stack, one of the best sponsors and friends we have so far as well. Tom is you talk about music lovers. This dude right here, he's at gigs. He's probably looking for tickets for a gig right now. This guy is flying to freaking Cleveland next week to see Bruce Springsteen. He loves the Grateful Dead. He worked with the Grateful Dead prior to his real estate career for a long time. He invented the entire line of Club Dead merchandise. If you're a Deadhead, you remember that stuff. That was Tom right here. He invented all that, came up with that, created that. And Tom is a real people person. Like, he loves meeting people, talking to people, and he loves helping people. Again, I can't stress this enough. If you're watching the show and you and your significant other, or you by yourself, whatever the circumstance, it's time to buy a home, or you want to go looking at homes, like you're getting ready to ramp it up, we have your guy right here. It's Tom Stack. He's the broker you want to be dealing with. He's with Coldwell Banker Realty. He's been in the game, in the real estate game, 20 years now, and he's highly decorated as a business person out in the East Bay. Like Lafayette, he's been awarded all kinds of stuff. He's worked on the Town Hall Theater for 10 plus years, a vice president of the board out there. He was named the Business Person of the Year in Lafayette. He's a 20-year member of the Lafayette Chamber of Commerce. So the point is, he loves the community and he loves working with people. So if you want to buy a home and you're looking around at different brokers, this is the guy right here. Call Tom Stack. Tell him what your goals are, where you want to see houses, and let him take it from there. 925-878-9964. And a lot like Carlos, the great thing about Tom is this is a guy you can trust. This is a guy that is not going to be playing games with you or trying to lead you into some, looking at houses that are out of your range or in areas where you don't want to be. He will do exactly as you want him to do. So if you're like, hey, I can only look at homes in Walnut Creek and Concord or whatever, like, he's got that. He'll take care of that. So reach out to Tom. You can email Tom as well. It's tom.stack@cbnorcal.com, Tony. The great Tom Stack. Jump and Stack Flash, we like to call him.
Jump and Stack Flash, who covers the La Marinda corridor. That's his specialty, Lafayette, Moraga, Orinda, but he covers the greater East Bay, Oakland, Pleasant Hill, Walnut Creek, Martinez, Concord, Rossmore. Actually, Rossmore is not East Bay, but that's another city that he covers, and he knows people all around the Bay Area, and he knows people that know people outside of the Bay Area. So his network is massive. So if you know somebody that is buying or selling, get in touch with Tom Stack. He is one of our dear friends. He's also a partner to the show, and it's because we believe in Tom. And again, if you notice, there's a common thread with all the partners of our show, Paulie, is that they chose career paths that help people out. Right? They want to be helpers. These people are the helpers. And so we love Tom Stack Real Estate. And he says, I'll treat you like a rock star. And he means that because he used to work with rock stars, transferred all of that experience into his own real estate business. 925-878-9964, 925-878-9964, or email tom.stack@cbnorcal.com. Paulie, just a quick review. This is from Pleasant Hill, Sarah and Derek in Pleasant Hill. Tom was very tenacious and dedicated to getting our house ready for showing on short notice. He was not afraid to roll up his sleeves and get to work. Tom is organized and was constantly staying on top of us to stay diligent and make our timeline. Tom helped us sell our house for a price that greatly exceeded our expectations. I would highly recommend Tom to anyone who wants to get the greatest value out of their property. That's from Sarah and Derek in Pleasant Hill. So the proof's in the pudding, Paulie.
Thank you, Tony.
Tom Stack Real Estate.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you, Jump and Stack Flash. Tom Stack, everybody, great guy, and he's great at what he does. So take him up on his expertise and find the home, find the right home you guys are looking for. And last thing I'd say about Tom, is that if you're not out there in the East Bay and you're like, well, I would call Tom, but I live in, Novato. No problem. No problem at all. In fact, he's helped people out of his range. He will connect you with the agents that he knows and trusts. So Tom can definitely help you regardless of where you're located in the Bay. All right, Tony, final things here. I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping, some programming notes, and then we can do Dr. Matt Young and we can wrap it up today. But again, just a reminder, you guys, we are going to be doing a little bit of a different thing tomorrow. We're going to be joined by the great Tom Tolbert. Man, we love Tolbert. Everybody loves Tolbert. Yep. And we're going to have the show on our channel. He's going to play it on his channel. So it'll be like a kind of a dual broadcast happening. But the only programming note is, Tony, we're pushing the start time to what time are we going?
1:30 ish, but like we're aiming for 1:30. But Tom asked between 1 and 2 p.m. because he has an appointment in the morning. So we said, hey, 1:30, let's shoot for 1:30. So we will keep you posted on the social media tip, but 1:30, plan for 1:30, everybody.
Okay, now Noemi Catalina, Lady Catalina, stepping up with the great question: are we having a musical assignment, Creative Tony? Yes or no?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm texting Tom the musical assignment later this afternoon once we decide what the musical assignment.
All right, let's do it right now. Here we go, right now, Tony. What are we doing tomorrow? What's the assignment?
By the way, I have to offer an apology. I gave some bad info. Rossmore is in the East Bay next to Walnut Creek. I was thinking of Ross, which is in Marin. Rossmore is in Walnut Creek, Paulie. Just want to make sure people get the right information on this show. The musical assignment, Paulie, I'm thinking we just had Tim Flannery on. Oh, because we're having great guests this week.
Ooh, yeah.
How about like songs with like a band invites a guest to play with them?
Love where your head's at. That's a great one. Keep talking. Go ahead.
I just pulled that out of my what. So I don't know. I mean, I'm like Tim said that he, like you were a guest of Jake Peavy's, or Tim was a guest of Jerry Jeff Walker's, or
Bob Weir was a guest of Flan, stuff like that.
Bob Weir was a guest of Flan's. The Widespread Panic closed out Jazz Fest one of the years I was there on a Sunday, and they brought the Dirty Dozen Brass Band on as a guest to play Superstition by Stevie Wonder. So
I remember, Tony, when the band Dead and Company first started playing, literally their first run of shows was in December of 2015. It was right after the Fare Thee Well shows in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And then Bobby and John Mayer announced, hey, we're starting this band. They're called Dead and Company. So the first San Francisco gigs they ever did was at the Bill Graham Civic. And they did a couple of nights late December. It was like the 27th, 28th. And Brian Murphy went to one of those gigs. Nice. And I'll never forget this. So we're watching the gig, and they finished the second set. They're getting ready for the encore, and I could see people on stage like milling around. The lights weren't totally up, but I could see, and I saw this huge silhouette. I could see like this big body on stage, and I go, dude, I think this is what I said. I go, I think John Popper's coming out. And Murph was like, there's no way John Popper's coming out. John Popper's not here. And I go, no, I'm telling you, I see somebody down there, man. I think that's John Popper. Bam, the lights go on. I remember the encore was Casey Jones, and it was John Popper. And he started playing harmonica. So that's an example of a guest with a band. I love the assignment, Tony. Great call.
Okay, great. So guest musicians that are pulled up on stage with other bands. That's a good call. So thank you, Paulie. Let's do it. And Paulie, birthdays. We got to do some birthdays, and then we can round it up.
Last thing, and just one last quick thing, then birthdays, then Dr. Young, is just a reminder that on tomorrow, I'm trying to keep up. There's a lot going on. Tomorrow, we will announce the date for the Giants night out, the PMP night at Oracle Park. That's coming tomorrow, too. We'll announce the date on the calendar so we can all line up for that. You can block the date because we'd love to have as many of you there as possible. It was so much fun last year. Okay, I think that's all our stuff, Tony. So go ahead. What do you got there? Oh, birthdays. Okay.
Birthdays. These are some fun ones today, Paulie. First of all, I want to just extend a warm birthday greeting to friend of the program, friend of mine, Pete Cruz, who is a San Carlos Belmont dad, and also just a great dude, and also a friend of Carlos de la Fuente's.
Any relation to Pablo?
No, spelt differently. This is
any relation to Jose Cruz, the ball player?
I can definitely ask if he's related to Jose Cruz.
Thank you.
But he's Puerto Rican, and he's the best. And the word I would use to describe Pete is spicy. And I love Pete. He's a spicy dude, and I love him for it. And anyways, happy birthday, Pete. And he did some work with Carlos de la Fuente, so he's somebody that just raves about his experience with Carlos. Anyways, happy birthday to Pete Cruz. He shares a birthday with Paulie. George Lucas today is 82. George 82.
Lucas. Wow.
Happy birthday, George Lucas. Happy birthday, Cate Blanchett. Okay. Happy birthday. I like Cate Blanchett, actress. Happy birthday, Tim Roth. Remember Tim Roth?
Yeah, Tim Roth. He's been a while. Okay. He's Pulp Fiction, the burglar at the beginning of the movie, right? Oh. Okay, honey bunny, let's rob this place. Yeah. Thanks, honey bunny. Yeah.
Be cool, honey bunny. Be cool.
Honey bunny, be cool. It's okay. Be cool. Tell that bitch to be cool. Back to screaming. Tell that bitch to be cool. Be cool, honey bunny. Yeah. All right, go ahead, man.
Also, happy birthday to David Byrne. David Byrne, who's still touring, dude. He just played the Frost Amphitheater. David Byrne, dude, is just.
I'll tell you something funny. I'll tell you a true story about David Byrne. I was on KMBR once, just ripping him to shreds. I was never a big Talking Heads fan. Like, they're okay. I don't know, but something about Byrne. I don't know. There's something about Byrne. You know,
I love Byrne. I love how weird he is. I love how he embraces weirdness.
It comes and goes with me. Anyway, so I was like, Byrne's doing this. He's got the big suit on. What the hell? My friend Brian Connors called me up because, you know what, dude, you're out here. You're bashing David Byrne. You should know that when the Grateful Dead used to play the Greek Theater, David Byrne would be a guest of the Dead frequently. He would sit out at the soundboard and watch the band. So he was like, just know that David Byrne was a Deadhead, so you should hate him a little bit less. I'm like, okay, noted. And I did. I backed off. I said, okay, all right.
That's a good thing that you backed off, and you should back off forever. He's a pretty talented dude, man.
I know. I'm just being a pain in the ass. I know.
Well, it's okay, Paulie. It's okay. And I just want to do.
We would all like to be able to live an uncluttered life, a simple life, a good life.
Okay, Paulie, as we continue with the birthdays really quick, Gronk is 37 years old, Paulie. Your guy,
Gronk? He's so young. He's still 37. Wow.
I know. He's only 37, dude.
He is the ultimate meathead. He really is. Yeah. He's the ultimate knucklehead meathead guy. Like, he's like, yeah, I don't know. Duh. You know what I mean? He's like one of those big, he's a meathead. I don't know how else to describe him. Yeah.
Totally. And then, Paulie, just a couple more, 3 more birthdays. John Landau birthday today. John Landau's birthday today.
I gotta say thank you, John Landau. Listen, he's done some questionable stuff. Like, for example, I don't need Landau stepping in to produce Born in the USA, but he did. I mean, that record, to be honest, could have sounded a lot better sonically. But Landau, stuck himself in there. But to be fair to Landau, if it wasn't for Landau, Springsteen, he could be dead or locked up somewhere. Like, Landau was like the only guy I think that kind of saved Bruce when he was really spiraling out and going through those depression issues and stuff. So thank you for that, Landau. I appreciate that.
Dude, go watch that movie. Go watch the Bruce movie. The relationship with Landau and Bruce and the acting that's going on between Jeremy Strong and Jeremy Allen White is fantastic.
How about when Jeremy Allen White calls him and he's like, I don't know if I can hold on anymore. It's like a really serious point in the movie. He's like, I'm losing it. I don't know if I can hold on. And then Landau goes, played by Jeremy Strong. He's like, well, this is kind of out of my depth now. He's like, I'm going to have to bring some people in. I don't know what to do. He's like, yeah.
Jeremy Strong, man. Go watch him on Succession too.
Strong's awesome. He's a great actor, man.
Phenomenal in Succession.
I loved him in. Did you guys ever see that movie about the financial crash called The Big Short?
Yes, dude. Yes.
I love him in that too. Yeah.
Great movie. But if you haven't seen Paulie, you would love Succession, man. Seriously.
I got to put it on the list with Cobra Kai and freaking everything. There's too many freaking shows out there now. There's just too many.
And I'm deep into Landman now. I'm going on the season 1 finale. I'm approaching season 1 finale. And dude, I'm having this renaissance with Billy Bob Thornton because I haven't thought about him in years. I'm like, dude, he's
good. He's solid. He can act, man.
Acting his ass off, dude.
While you're throwing shows at me that I got to swat away, I got to remind you, dude, dive when you can. When you had an opportunity, you got to start watching Your Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm.
I have it in the queue. I'm
telling you, it's really good. Yeah. It's really he's
also a Hamm fan because Hamm's all over Landman, dude. He just got he got rushed to the hospital because he's having like a heart attack and he takes like pills and stuff. Anyways,
okay.
He's the big oil tycoon that Billy Bob Thornton works for in Landman. Anyways, 2 final birthdays, Paulie. CC DeVille. CC, talk to me. Pick up that guitar and talk to me.
How about just a simple hit it, CC?
Hit it, CC. For those of you who don't know, that's the lead guitarist.
Can you give me a piece? Can you give me like Talk Dirty to Me or something? Just give me a taste. Give me like 20 seconds. And by the way, Tony, full disclosure, I've seen him. Okay, I've seen him. Yeah. I don't own a single record, but I have seen him. Just real quick before we go, just a little piece of DeVille. Yeah,
well, you're gonna get a piece right now, buddy. Okay. Oh boy,
I mean, this is gonna be a shock to the system.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, sorry, it's a chord and throws it away. Let me see that again. Let me see the guitar and the chuck. He just chucks it. I'm done. 1 chord. That's all you get. He throws it. I don't remember any of this. This is incredible.
I forgot all about this too, man.
Let me just
man.
that's a big jump. It's a big jump.
And look at Brett Michaels down below, dude. Oh God,
He's ducking. He doesn't want to get hit. He's ducking down. Yeah, see, there it is. That's the 80s, folks.
Oh,
don't ask
God.
if you weren't there. Don't even ask. I can't explain it.
That just got me, man. And last birthday, Paulie. Last birthday.
Okay, sorry.
Yesterday's numerology. And by the way, particles. And I saw this on the chat by multiple people. I saw Lily Merchant mention it first. We talked about numerology, dude. Jake Peavy, number 22. No, there's the particles right there for the day.
Totally great.
But yesterday's numerology rock star, happy birthday, Frank freaking Gore. Today.
Nice. How old is Frank?
I don't know. Forever, he'll be 23 in my mind and running wild in the Niner backfield.
The two guys that my heart breaks for on the 49ers. We might probably see these guys next week, Tony, at the Dwight Clark event, which we will give tickets away for on Monday, you guys, on Monday. Yes, Scarlet Fire. I've been saying that for freaking 40 years or however long it's been. She's all over. Scarlet Fire, you get a gold star today. She says, guys, that Poison song you just played is a direct, blatant ripoff of Cheap Trick's She's Tight. 100%. Scarlet Fire, you have great ears. Thank you. I've been saying that forever. Nobody wants to listen. But yeah, they stole that riff from Cheap Trick. I mean, Tony, it's note for note. They make no bones about it. They're like, yeah, we're stealing that. So anyway, those are the boys in Poison. I don't know a single Poison record, by the way. None.
No, me neither. And I'm not going to buy the cowboy hat wig combo that Brett Michaels supposedly rocks either.
I would think that, yeah, when the day is done with Brett, he just takes it off, Tony, like the entire piece, and just puts it like on a post. That's how
wouldn't it be amazing if he had just like little strands of hair with baldness underneath it? I would just be like, this is amazing. But
Tony, I'll tell you what else is amazing. The services of Dr. Matt Young. He's out here doing the Lord's work, making everyone smile, look a lot better, including mine, including Tony's family. I know Escobar Cheeks the third has gone in. I think Don Peralta is on the list right now, too, to go see Dr. Young, and you should be, too. I'm just going to put it in simple terms. If you're one of these people, you've had a hard time finding a good dentist, or you're always super uptight in the dental chair, welcome aboard. That's me. That's how I've been forever. But then I met Dr. Matt Young, and now it's a whole new kind of ball game. Like, this guy's going to work with you on your schedule. You'll find an appropriate time. The entire staff at Young Dental is super cool, super helpful. They do have weekend hours as well. If you can't get there Monday through Friday, they can take you on a Saturday. And Dr. Young is just like, along with being an award-winning dentist in not only in California, but the entire United States, he's just a great dude. And he's another dude who loves baseball. Like he loves baseball. He loves talking giant baseball. His son's an SI Wildcat and all that. So give Dr. Young some love. Reach out to Dr. Young and make your appointment if you are ready to make a switch to a new dentist, or if you're just looking for one. It's Dr. Matt Young. He's the guy. 415-392-8611. You can also email Dr. Young anytime. It's info@youngdentalsf.com. And like Carlos De La Fuente, like Tom Stack, plenty of experience here, which is important to me. If I'm spending my money like on a service, I want the guy to know what he's doing. No disrespect to the youngsters, but Dr. Young's coming to the equation with 25 years of experience. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want a kid fresh out of dental school being like, I hope this goes well. You know what I mean? Like, I want a guy who goes like, Paulie, you just chill. Here's the headphones, relax. And that's how it is with Dr. Matt Young. Last thing I'll say, Tony, one of his specialties is implant surgery and implant restoration. So if you have teeth that need to be replaced and you get that whole implant thing going, he's the best at that. He's the president of the American Academy of Implant Dentistry. There literally is nobody more skilled than Dr. Young when it comes to implants or restoration. So make the move today. Reach out and call him, 415-392-8611. Thank you, Dr. Young. We freaking love you, buddy.
Love Dr. Young. Paulie, you mentioned the word chill. He makes it chill. That's what Dr. Young does. He chills you out. So, Paulie, if you had to do, like, if Dr. Young said, okay, I'm going to chill you out, and you're only allowed to listen to songs about chilling out, I would say, okay, Doc, can you please put on the song, an 80s love ballad by the performer Guy called Let's Chill. I would
say, can I get funky Cold Medina? Because, Tony, it's Cold Medina. Hence the chilling. And that was Tone Loc, of course. Tone Loc.
And how about EPMD's You Got to Chill?
Oh, now you're talking. You Got to Chill. Yeah, great one. Great one.
Chill. Great
riff. Yeah,
great riff. But I do want to say, I've spoken to more than a few people that said, oh, I'd love to see Dr. Young, but I live here, I live there, I live here. And I'm like, I totally get it. But one of the things that Dr. Young does do is he extends his hours to be open Saturdays. So if you are looking for a different dentist and you live outside the area and you want to make like a field trip out of it and come on a Saturday, they're open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then you go down to the ballpark, go to a Giants day game on Saturday, or go to Long Bridge Pizza, or just spend the day in San Francisco after you visit Dr. Young.
Tony, quick question. If I was in Dr. Young's chair and he was like, hey, Paulie, I'm going to go get the headphones. What do you want to listen to? What if I said like anything off of the first 2 Poison records? Could he accommodate that? Or what if I was like, you know what I need? I need some Bret Michaels solo stuff. Do you have any of that? Yeah. Yeah, dude, he's done like country albums. Could I get some of that Bret Michaels country? You got any of that stuff? Would he accommodate that? That's my question.
Absolutely. He would probably say, well, on my playlist, I have Every Rose Has Its Thorn, Tony. Is that okay with you if we start out with that? I said,
shout out, Tony. Shout out to the sigh at the beginning of Every Rose Has Its Thorn. You just got Michael. Yeah. And then the song.
Both lie silent still in the dead of the night.
I'm like embarrassed just hearing that now. Like, yeah, though we both
feel miles apart inside. Was it something I
did? Yeah, dude.
Did my words not come out right?
Every rose. How about this one, Tony? Every rose has its thorn. Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Oh man, Jesus, dude.
Okay.
So, Dr. Young, thank you, man. We love you so much. Thank you for the partnership. Thank you for taking care of Megan's teeth and my children's teeth and mine as well. And by the way, with Megan and our kids, Megan's got like a very unique insurance company, and Dr. Young takes most insurances. He takes Megan's insurance, and he takes most insurances. So it's a good thing. So 415-392-8611, 415-392-8611. Give them a call or email them info@youngdentalsf.com, Paulie.
100%. Thank you. And Don Peralta, I got news for you, buddy. Before you go riffing on Warrant, I've seen him.
Yeah.
I've seen Warrant. I have. Tony, they opened for Motley Crue on the Dr. Feelgood tour. I saw 2 of those shows actually in Boston. I was still in college at that point. But
did you get a girls at that show?
I mean, is the sky blue?
At the Dollhouse in Fort Lauderdale, Paulie?
Dude, 100%. All right, you guys, listen, really, really fun show today. Thanks again to Tim Flannery for joining us. Really fun. Yes, final thoughts, Steve. Go ahead.
We never got to my former Giants spotlight segment, Paulie, that we can maybe get to tomorrow. And I'm just going to say it features Kyle Harrison and Dominic Smith. I just want to say that because both are just crushed. I looked up Dominic Smith's stats today, and I wish I didn't.
Yeah, Harrison's like that too. Harrison's been pitching his ass off, and he's so young. That kid's so freaking young. He's going to be around forever. That's why I asked the question a few nights ago. I'm like, did we give up too quickly on these guys? And I think they did. Yeah.
All right, dude. Rockin' New Era. You've been on fire on the chat for literally like the last half hour, dude. And he says, Dr. Young says, swish the water in your mouth, round and round.
Yeah. Round and round. 100%. On that note, there's no better note to end it on. So we'll see everybody tomorrow at about 1:30, and I'll post it on social media, but I think we're going to have a 1:30 start with Tom Tolbert. Should be a lot of fun. Music assignment. If you missed it, you're just joining us. It is songs that have other musicians guesting. So, whoever is jamming with which band or which artist, anything like that, collaborations, bands that have an artist on stage. All right, Creative Tony, that's it. Thank you, everybody. By the way, John Joseph, Noemi, Escobar, Rockin' New Era, P1 Chuck, Dom, Patty, on and on it goes. Thank you guys for lining it up today. A lot of fun. And Creative Tony, take us home, kid. Go ahead.
Here we go. And by the way, P1 Chuck, I see you. I guess Harrison won again today, so he's now 4-1 with a 2.09 ERA. Here we go, Paulie.
Business hours are over, baby. It's bedtime.
Thanks so much, you guys. Really fun show. One last time, too. Big thank you to Tim Flannery. Always great to catch up with the Flan man. Everybody have a great Thursday. Rock and roll. Be cool. And we'll see you tomorrow at 1:30 with Tom Tolbert. Cheers, y'all.
Peace, everybody.